What's up? Brandon Lilly here, back with the Power Project. I appreciate the people who took the time to write Mark and tell him to let me back on the project, because actually he got a little upset that I was actually more popular than he was on his own project. So, Mark had to take into consideration that maybe I'm just better than him and I give better answers and have a better beard, and I wear this Millennium Falcon shirt in almost every video that I do. So anyway, glad to be back on the project. The question of today comes from a guy that was asking how to prevent his ass from shooting up when he deadlifts. And basically what happens is two things. You've either got a deficiency in your hamstrings or glutes, which is wanting your body to straighten up and put more into your lower back and then in your hamstrings. But most likely it's a technique issue where you're getting over the bar. You're getting over the bar a little bit too far with your upper body, and to change the leverages in a way so you don't fall flat on your face, your hips compensate and they shoot up. Really just think about one of the things that you're actually trying to do when you deadlift. You're basically wanting to be in somewhat of a similar form to squatting with the bar in your hands. So take a little bit of extra time, scoot a little bit closer to the bar, and try to position yourself with a neutral head position, not all the way back and not all the way down, but just a neutral, comfortable head position, and grab the bar and really drop your legs underneath you and think about squatting the weight up and then uncoiling your upper body at the very end. It's a very simple thought process. It's hard to input, but once you kind of see somebody that does it correctly, it looks like a one-part motion rather than, okay, now his legs are straight and then his upper body extends. It's kind of just like just a gradual unfolding of the body together. And the same thing in the squat. Guys that their butts come up too much, what happens is a lot of times they lean too much with their upper body instead of keeping a good upper body position, the chest big, head neutral, and shoulders back. What you have is somebody that gets in a position where they start going down in the hole, and instead of opening up their body and becoming bigger everywhere, they collapse in and everything falls down and falls forward. So I think if you work on your upper back strength, your upper back positioning, your head positioning, and just take a little bit more time to actually visualize the movement before you do it, and try to imagine yourself squatting your weight up when you deadlift and maintaining a big chest when you squat, I think that'll help you a lot and prevent you from keeping your bottom from coming up too early.
Brandon Lilly. Brandon Lilly, you want to talk about how you're answering questions better than the people's coach, and you want to talk about how your 89-cent Millennium Falcon shirt is superior to my $300 glasses, my $100 beanie cap, my $250 shirt. Just because you don't have a job and you make less money than me does not make you better than me. It does not make you better than the meathead millionaire that I am. And furthermore, if you would ever listen to some rap tunes, some gangster rap, then you would know what I know, and what everybody here at the Power Project realizes is that you don't take shots at legends. Otherwise, you wind up dead. Anyway, we got a question to answer here at the Power Project. I'm Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. Answering more questions today for the Power Project, brought to you by HowMuchYouBench.net and ThePowerMagazine.com. Speaking of the Slingshot, HowMuchYouBench.net, there's free shipping over there right now going through the holidays, so enjoy the free shipping. Buy yourself a Slingshot. Don't be gay and buy a scarf or buy a turtleneck sweatshirt. Buy a Slingshot, be a man, increase your bench. Ladies out there, you can also enjoy the benefits of increasing your bench press, your push-ups, and your dips. Buy a Slingshot or suffer the consequences of being weak. The question for today is about the squat and about the deadlift. It's mainly about the deadlift, but I'm going to reference it to the squat as well. I'm talking about the hips shooting up, the buttocks shooting up. As Brandon alluded to earlier, a lot of times this is a mistake in technique. How do you fix your technique? You fix your technique through hard work by getting yourself tight, teaching yourself how to get tight. How do you do those types of things? You do those types of things through repetition, in my opinion, or multiple singles with heavy weights. So let me give you an example. Let's say your best squat is 400. Take 335 to 350, somewhere in that range, and do 3 sets of 1. That would be one way of doing it. Your best squat is 400 pounds. Let's use another example for repetitions. Take 300 pounds and do 2 sets of as many reps as you can. Or take 285 or 290, a weight in that range. Anywhere between 280 and about 320 would be a good weight to utilize to try to hit for maximum repetitions. When you're going for repetitions, what's going to happen is there's still going to be that same or similar breakdown that you normally have when you're doing a 1-rep max. However, you're going to be able to plow through those sticking points multiple times. You'll be able to do those retarded 2-part lifts for continuous repetitions, and you'll be able to plow through those sticking points and those little mini maxes that you got going on. Another way to do it is through a exercise that I, the people's coach, invented, and not Brandon Lilly, because he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He is pretty dangerous, though. Anyway, an exercise that I've come up with, let's just call it the super squat, and we'll call it the super deadlift. I didn't actually invent the exercise, but I've brought it to light recently, and I've had a lot of success with it. So get a pen, get a piece of paper. Don't borrow one from Brandon Lilly. He can't afford more than 1 set of each thing in his household because he's from Paint Lick, Kentucky. Down there in Paint Lick, they're lucky if they even know how to write. Anyway, write this down. You're doing a squat followed by a good morning, and you're doing a deadlift followed by a stiff leg deadlift. This can be done sumo or conventional. It can be done in a squat with a closed stance or a wide stance. This is going to teach you where your hips need to be. It's going to teach you how to utilize your hips. And it's going to teach you the difference between doing a squat and doing a good morning. A lot of times when you go to do a squat, you end up in a good morning position. You don't want to end up there. You don't want your lifts to look like 2-part lifts. You want it to be all one chunk, all one piece. Same thing in regards to the deadlift. So if you're going to do a regular deadlift, a lot of times your butt's going to shoot up. You're going to be out of position, and then all of a sudden the weights will start to move off the floor. And a lot of times from there, you don't have enough momentum to lock it out. You don't have enough momentum to continue to lift any further because your hips got too far away from the barbell. Well, what I'm saying is, with this exercise where you do 1 rep of a regular deadlift and 1 rep of a stiff leg deadlift, you're doing this on purpose. I refer to it as lifting like shit. You're trying to set yourself up in these bad positions on purpose. Another way to do this and to achieve similar results is to utilize different heights at which you deadlift off of. I'm a big proponent of the deficit deadlift, as well as box or block pulls, as some people refer to them. So you got a further range of motion with the deficit pulls, and you have a lesser range of motion with the block pulls, aka rack pulls. The rack pulls and the pulls off the blocks or pulls off of mats, however you want to say it, those are going to, again, teach you where your hips need to be in regards to the deadlift. They're also going to work your lower back tremendously depending on what position you're pulling from. Sometimes those positions are less advantageous than just performing a regular deadlift off the floor. Some of these exercises I'm mentioning, such as a super squat and a super deadlift, can be utilized after a main movement for sets of 8 reps, so about 4 reps of each. Anywhere between 8 to 12 repetitions would be good. It is very exhausting. It's a brutal exercise, but give it a shot and see how you like it. I think it's going to really help you to learn the execution of the lift and to learn where your hips should and should not be. It's going to teach you both. Brandon mentioned getting forward to the barbell. Get yourself forward to the barbell on purpose on this particular exercise to help mimic the shitty deadlifting that you already do. By going through these positions, going through these weaknesses, and going through these faulty positions, you're going to teach your body how to overcome them and how not to get to them in the first place. So work on that. Use it as an assistance movement. Apply the repetition effort method to it. Use anywhere between 60 to 80% of your around 60% of your best pull would probably be a good starting point. 50% is always nice because you just cut it in half. Your best pull is 400. You're gonna be working with about 200 or 225, whatever's easiest to put on the barbell. I think that answers your question. And Brandon Lilly, don't bite off more than you can chew. If you do bite off more than you can chew, then you'll have more brains in your stomach than you do inside of that fat head of yours. I don't need a beard. I don't need tattoos to be tough. I am what I am. And that is it from supertraining.tv.